So we're back on the triplet. Now one thing I didn't cover on any of the previous videos was when I took the frame in to have the threads chased on the center crank, I also had them install this bottom bracket. This one that we discovered last week was too large, and the reason I had them do that is because it's a different tool than the one that I use normally. So to get it back out, I had to take it back to them and ask them to take it back out for me. And that was awfully nice of them. So we got the new bottom bracket. Let's hope this fits. All that's left before we assemble the bike is to install the chain tensioners that we built before. So let's start by threading the chains and see where they need to be placed. Okay, so here's our tensioner. Let's see where it needs to be for this to work. Okay, to make this to the frame, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to cut this at an angle to match up to this bracket that I made, and then I'm going to cut this at the right length to interface to this round tube down here on the frame. Okay, so there's my tube fitted to the other tube. Now we need to figure out what angle to cut this. Alright, well I wasn't really digging the fit with that sprocket. So I decided to go with this bearing roller instead. And that should work better, I think. So we'll move on to the back. And one thing you'll notice is that this also does not use the right tool. But I found out that these almost always come with an adapter. Okay, well the crank is in, but the next thing I need to do is get the spacing right on these chain rings. And here I've got a handful of chainring bolts and spacers. That's going to take a little while to work all that out. Okay, that alignment looks good. This is kind of funny. This is the instructions for assembling this crank, and it shows this piece right here should go right up next to the bearing. The only problem is this piece is 0.848 inches on the inside, and the place where it's supposed to go is 0.94 inches. So while I think about how to figure out that spacing on the crank, I'll just make those chain tensioner perches, which are going to be more chromoly tubing cut and fit to go on the support trusses. Once the support trusses were built, I took them back to the welder and he assembled them. Then we actually welded them onto the frame in the appropriate places. I had a guy comment on YouTube that he was concerned about his vision watching video of the unshielded arc. Okay, all the welding is done. The bike is back in the shop. The chain tensioners are in place. It's looking pretty good. The next step is to assemble the bike and ride it. And if that works out okay, then we'll strip it back down and send the frame off to powder coat, and the client wants this thing done in ultra hot pink. And if you follow me on Instagram and you saw the propane tank throne that I did about a month ago, that's the color he wants. It glows in the dark practically. So here's the news why you don't get to see it this week. Today is Friday, November 2nd. Monday, I leave for Atlanta to go to FabTech, the Fabrication Technology Conference. And if you are in the Atlanta area, I would really love to meet up with you at this conference. I can get you in for free. All you got to do is go to fabtechexpo.com/VIP and register yourself. And you can get in for free to the FabTech Expo. Now here's a tip. If you go to this event and you speak Mandarin, or you know someone who does, who you can take with you, they shuffle all the Chinese speakers off into one corner because nobody wants to deal with them because they can't speak English. Now, that kind of sucks for them. That's poor business planning on their part, but it could be an opportunity on our part. Because I was there, I got a 10-pack of tungsten electrodes for my TIG welder for 10 bucks. Now that's something I spent $40 for at my local welding supply, but these guys had it for 10 bucks. You could become their distributor if only you could communicate with them, and that was the biggest problem, is that I could not communicate with them. I saw the best vise I'd ever seen in my life. I called it the Sidewinder. I don't know what they called it because they couldn't tell me. They couldn't even give me a price on the thing because the guy didn't speak English, and that sucked. But it's a business opportunity for someone who could speak Mandarin. Anyway, next week's video will be a recap of the FabTech event and all the stuff that I wish I could have bought there, along with some of the things that I did buy there. Because last time I regretted leaving some deals behind, and this time I'm not going to do that. When I see a great deal, I'm going to jump on that bad boy and bring it back home and tell you guys all about it. Anyway, in 2 weeks, look forward to the initial test ride of the Triplet Fatbike. So thanks for stopping in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click up here to see my last video. Click over here to see something of mine that YouTube thinks you'll like. If you are in the Atlanta area and you would like to meet up with me while I'm at FabTech, please reach out to me on Instagram. My name there is wildman.tech. I would love to cross paths with you, and have a good one.